Shocking truth about popular cereal brands: that cereal box sitting in your kitchen right now is not the healthy breakfast you think it is. Every morning across Australia, parents pour it into bowls, add milk, and believe they're doing the right thing. Whole grains, vitamins, energy to start the day. That's the promise printed on the box. But that promise doesn't survive a closer look, because most popular cereals today aren't built to nourish, they're built to sell. Refined grains, added sugars, and heavy processing are dressed up with health claims and cartoon-friendly branding, especially for kids. What looks like a smart breakfast choice often behaves more like a dessert. And the most dangerous part? It's eaten daily, sometimes twice a day, by children whose eating habits are still being formed. Once you see what's really inside these cereals, you'll realize breakfast might be the most misleading meal of the day.
Brand 1, Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Kellogg's Corn Flakes is marketed as the safest breakfast on the shelf. Plain, simple, almost medicinal. For decades, Australians have been told this is what a good start to the day looks like, especially for kids. But that reputation doesn't match reality anymore. Modern cornflakes are made from heavily refined corn that's stripped of its natural structure during processing. What's left digests fast, spikes blood sugar, and delivers energy that doesn't last. The nutrients you see on the box aren't naturally there. They're added back in later to make the cereal look complete. That's the trick. A product that starts nutritionally empty is rebuilt just enough to qualify as healthy on paper, while behaving very differently in the body. It fills you quickly, leaves you hungry soon after, and trains taste buds to expect refined carbs first thing in the morning. Cornflakes aren't evil, but they're not the simple, nourishing breakfast people believe they are. Brand 2, Nutri-Grain. Nutri-Grain is sold as fuel, strong, powerful, built for active people and growing kids. The branding screams performance, energy, and strength, making parents feel confident they're choosing something that supports busy mornings and active bodies. But that image doesn't match what's actually in the bowl. Nutri-Grain is built around refined grains and added sugars that digest quickly and spike energy fast. That tower feeling isn't sustained fuel. It's a short burst followed by a crash. The cereal behaves more like a sweetened snack than a balanced breakfast, despite the athlete-style marketing wrapped around it. What makes Nutri-Grain especially deceptive is who it's aimed at. Kids and teenagers eat it believing it helps performance, when in reality, it trains them to associate breakfast with sweetness and fast energy. The vitamins on the box don't change that foundation. They just make the product look responsible. Nutri-Grain doesn't build strength. It sells the idea of strength while delivering a breakfast that doesn't last. Brand 3, Special K Special. K is marketed as discipline in a bowl. Light, controlled, designed for weight loss and better choices. The branding tells people, especially women, that this is what responsible eating looks like. But that promise falls apart fast. Special K is built on refined grains that digest quickly and don't keep you full. You eat a bowl, feel virtuous for a moment, and then hunger creeps back sooner than it should. That's not weight control. That's a setup for snacking cravings and rebound eating later in the day. The illusion works because of optics. Low-fat messaging, portion control visuals, vitamins on the box. None of that changes how the cereal behaves once you eat it. Fast digestion, unstable energy, and minimal satiety are the opposite of what supports sustainable weight management. Special K doesn't teach balance. It teaches restriction, while delivering a breakfast that doesn't satisfy. Brand 4, Wheat Bix. Wheat Bix is treated like a national symbol. Simple, honest. The cereal every Aussie kid grows up on. It's marketed as strength, reliability, and common sense in a bowl, the opposite of flashy, sugary cereals. But iconic doesn't mean immune to scrutiny. Wheat Bix is still built around heavily processed wheat that digests quickly once it hits your system. That means fast energy, followed by hunger returning sooner than people expect. The cereal looks filling, but without enough fat or protein, it relies on volume, not nourishment, to create that effect. What makes this tricky is perception. Because Wheat Bix doesn't feel indulgent, people treat it as a daily staple rather than something to question. It's eaten repeatedly, often by kids under the assumption that plain automatically means optimal. Wheat Bix isn't junk, but it's not the complete, sustaining breakfast it's made out to be either.
Brand 5 Cocoa Pops. Cocoa Pops is one of the most openly deceptive cereals on Australian shelves because it's marketed directly at kids while pretending to be breakfast. Chocolate flavor, fun mascots, and bright packaging make it feel playful and harmless. Parents know it's sweet, but many still treat it as an occasional okay option. That's where the problem starts. Cocoa Pops is built on refined grains coated in sugar and flavoring, designed to taste like dessert first thing in the morning. The chocolate isn't real nutrition, it's a delivery system for sweetness. Energy spikes fast, crashes quickly, and leaves kids hungry again soon after. What makes this worse is repetition. When sugary cereals become normal breakfasts, kids' taste preferences shift early. Plain foods feel boring. Sweetness becomes the baseline. The habit doesn't stay in childhood, it follows them. Cocoa Pops doesn't fuel learning or focus. It trains kids to expect sugar at breakfast and rewards them for it.
Brand 6. Kids' healthy, fortified cereals. Most deceptive. This is the most deceptive category in the entire cereal aisle because it looks responsible. Boxes covered in words like whole grain, added vitamins, low fat, and supports growth. Parents see these claims and assume the cereal has earned its place at the breakfast table. But the foundation doesn't change. Most of these healthy kids' cereals are still built on refined grains and added sugars, then fortified afterward to look complete. The vitamins on the box aren't a bonus. They're a patch, added back in to compensate for what processing removed in the first place. What makes this category dangerous is frequency. Because it's marketed as better for you, kids eat it daily, sometimes twice a day. That normalizes sweetness at breakfast while teaching parents to trust labels instead of ingredients. This isn't nutrition education. It's marketing education. By now, one thing should be uncomfortable to admit. Most popular cereals aren't designed to fuel mornings. They're designed to win shelf space and trust. What's sold as healthy, balanced, or kid-friendly is often just refined grains and sugar rebuilt with marketing and fortification to look responsible. This isn't about one bad brand. It's about an entire category that relies on perception instead of nourishment. Bright boxes, familiar logos, and health claims do the talking, while the ingredients quietly tell a very different story. And because cereal is eaten daily, these choices don't stay small. They shape habits early and lock them in. The biggest mistake people make is assuming breakfast is automatically healthy because it's traditional. But tradition doesn't protect you from processing. Labels don't equal nutrition. And convenience doesn't equal care. Once you stop trusting the front of the box and start paying attention to what's actually inside, breakfast looks very different. Now I want to hear from you. Which cereal on this list surprised you the most? Is there one you've been serving regularly that you'll rethink after watching this? Drop a comment. Your experience helps other parents and families question what they're buying. And if you know someone who still believes cereal is the healthiest way to start the day, share this with them. If you want more breakdowns exposing what's really inside everyday foods Australians trust, make sure you're subscribed. Because once you see how these products are built, you stop buying the story and start buying with awareness.